Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out malicious compliance. Story 1. Parking at my work is a nightmare. So, for a bit of a backstory. I am an overnight security guard. I work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. most nights. I am with a company that has contracts with other companies for security, usually hotels, apartment complexes, clubs, etc. For this one particular site I work at 90% of the time, the parking is terrible. It's a luxury hotel, and the parking garage is nowhere near as accommodating as it should be. The hotel has valet, and a restaurant on the top floor. The parking garage is only 2 floors, maybe 100 spots for all employees and hotel/restaurant guests. They recently made it so that roughly 1/4 of the garage is reserved for employees, which is nowhere near enough. They also made it so you need a parking permit to park there. If you don't have a permit, you get towed. One warning allowed via a sticker on your car. The garage is also valid only for non-employees. Only other option is to pay to park in the street. Personally, I have 3 cars not counting my SOs that I drive on occasion. The parking permits list your car's year, make, model, color, and license plate number. My boss told me that the permits are transferable between cars, but they will come and ask you why the permit does not match the car. My boss told me to say, well, boss's name, told me that the permits are transferable between cars, and this is the car I drove today. Also, I asked them for permits for all of my cars to save time, and they said every person only get 1 permit. I was also told that they have to check every time the permit does not match, whether they know the car or not. Cue malicious compliance. The day I received my permit, I content to drive a different car every day. One of my 3 cars, my SO's car, my mom's car, her boyfriend's car, every car I was able to drive, I drove to work. After a while management was starting to get upset about it. I gave them the same answer every time. I told them, well, my boss said they are transferable, and this is the car I drove here today. After about a month and a half of this, I came in one day to my office and there it was in all its glory, a stack of permits for every single car I ever drove to work. Each with their year, make, model, color and tag number. Work, 0 Saminator 0107, 1. Story 2. But I wanted a silver laptop. First time posting here, so apologies for any mistakes. This story dates back to about 9 years ago when I, 31M at the time this took place, worked as a lead IT technician for a very large multinational company. It's a bit long, so sorry about that. The company had a range of different laptops available for employees to choose from that were classified by their size and weight, this is important later, including standard laptops, i.e., a typical laptop with a 14 screen, as well as lightweight laptops, smaller, thinner and with a 12.5 screen, handy if you're a frequent traveler. Most of these laptops were pretty boring, gray, business devices, nothing special to look at. Anyway, one day the computer manufacturer introduced a new lightweight laptop model that was silver in color and far more sleek and good looking than the previous gray model. We'd deployed a few of these around the building and soon got a visit from a lady who'd seen one of her colleagues with a shiny new silver laptop and had developed a severe case of shiny device envy. I'll call her shiny employee, SE, for the purpose of this story. SE, how do I go about getting one of those smaller laptops? Me, your current, standard, laptop isn't due to be replaced yet, but you can request a change to a lightweight laptop on the IT website. Your manager will need to approve it however. Now to be honest, I wasn't a particular fan of people who waste the company's money simply by wanting the latest shiny gadget, especially because it creates additional work for my team, and involves replacing equipment that is still perfectly functional and within warranty, but I behaved in a professional manner and simply towed the company line. SE walked away, and the next day an approved request came through for a lightweight laptop. Fair enough. What she didn't know was that company policy dictated that we only provided a brand new laptop if we didn't have usable second-hand laptops in stock, i.e., those handed back to IT from people who'd left the company. Being the good IT tech that I am, I scoured our return shelf and sure enough there was a used lightweight laptop in stock. Unfortunately for this lady, it was last year's grey model. But, rules are rules, so I asked one of my team to prep it for her. She's then told that it's ready and comes along to pick it up. She takes one look at it and promptly throws a tantrum. "Se, this isn't the one I wanted. I wanted the silver one." "Me, sorry, company policy is that we can only order a new laptop if we don't have usable second-hand ones in stock." "Se, but this is not the one I ordered." "Me, yes it is. You ordered a lightweight laptop and this is exactly what we've set up for you." I turn the laptop over and show her the company sticker confirming it to be the same classification of lightweight laptop as her request, and show her that it is physically smaller and lighter than her existing laptop. "Se, no, I wanted a new silver one. This is unacceptable, I'm going to complain to your boss." She stormed off in a huff and I could soon hear her complaining inside my boss's office. Unfortunately, although my boss knew I was just following process, he couldn't handle all of the repeated moaning and soon folded and asked me to order a new device for her. I wasn't at all pleased at being overruled when I was simply applying company policy, particularly when it's just a waste of money for an SE that wants the latest silver gadget, so cue malicious compliance time. I could have just scoured our shelf of brand new laptops and dug out a new one for her. We installed dozens of laptops a week, it was a big company, so we always had plenty of new ones in stock, but I was told to order a new one, so that's the process I'd follow. "Me, okay, we can order a brand new silver one for you, but you'll need to raise another request ticket so we can order the laptop from it." I said this knowing full well that this ticket would go to SC's manager once again for approval, a manager who has a finite department budget. Sure enough, an hour later I get a phone call from SC's manager. "Manager, why is SC ordering yet another laptop?" "Me, she didn't like the color of the laptop we'd prepared for her, it was grey and she wanted a silver one." "Manager, how much is this going to cost me?" "Me, well, you'll still be paying the monthly lease costs on SC's original laptop as it wasn't due for replacement, plus the lease costs of the lightweight laptop we prepared for her earlier, and there'll also be the lease costs for this new laptop as well." "Manager, oh hell no! I'm not paying for all that, I'll reject this ticket and I'll have a word with her." A short while later, SC returns. She's rather quiet and humble now after being chastised by her boss for trying to waste all his budget in the pursuit of having the latest shiny silver gadget. She quietly accepts the grey lightweight laptop we'd prepared earlier for her and then quickly departs. I spend the rest of the day with a grin on my face. Edit, as this question has been asked, I wanted to clarify something. The laptops are all on monthly leases and the way it worked was that the lease cost was aligned to the last department that had the laptop. Once we redeploy a laptop to someone else, the lease is transferred. So as we'd essentially have her original laptop and rejected laptop sitting on our shelves for a bit, her department would still pay the leases until we gave them to someone else. Even if they're only there for a couple of months, that adds up quite quickly. Either way, it was an unnecessary cost that the manager understandably wanted to avoid. Story 3. Economy flights for economy productivity. My company used me to comply with another company's travel requirements to demonstrate they are wrong. I worked for a British company in telecoms, and we won a bid for a Mexican contract. Besides the product itself, it meant they'd need pre- and post-sales support in order to realize the real benefits and integrate seamlessly. For me, that meant regular trips from the UK to Mexico, flying out Sunday, working 16+ hours days Monday to Thursday, returning Friday. It was intense, hard work but fulfilling. The first 3 of these trips went seamlessly, but before the 4th, the company changed travel policy, stipulated economy class flights, and took a day off the trips. They were told this would be counterproductive, but didn't want to hear it. We complied. I flew cattle. On the way out, I didn't have space to open the laptop, so I couldn't work. I also couldn't get comfortable enough to sleep. So I arrived unprepared, tired, and jet-lagged. Travel fatigue and jet lag meant I wasn't properly functional until Wednesday, so they effectively lost my productivity for 2 days on top of the flight hours. The economy ticket wasn't adjustable without a whopping fee, so they didn't change the return flight back to Friday. The company saved $5,000 on fees, flights, and hotel, but got 1 day of work instead of 5. The policy was scrapped after that visit. Story 4. Dad gave me 30 days to move out and I did. So I thought I'd share my story. When I, was 18, my dad kicked me out for disrespecting my stepmother. Reasonable, but also she was and is a manipulative bitch and I was fed up. Now what they mean by disrespecting her is I would only clean my messes. If I dirted a dish, I cleaned it but only mine. If I cooked, I cleaned the kitchen. Things like that. She expected me to clean every mess she'd make and insult me and has threatened to put her hands on me. Don't worry, I told my dad, but he took her side. I was fed up being told I was lazy, so I started talking back to her, saying exactly what I thought. My dad was fed up with me standing up against his wife and said I had 30 days to get my stuff and find another place to stay. I was with my current BF at the time and he said I could live with him and his mom was fine with it. My mom is deceased, so she wasn't an option, and even if she was, it wouldn't have been a healthy option because she was addicted to heroin and the big cause of most of my trauma. So I packed my stuff within 2 days and I left. I guess my dad didn't expect me to leave so quickly, so when I came back to get the rest of my stuff, he told me I could stay as long as I respected the rules and owners of the house. I told him that I don't respect the rules or owners of the house, so I was not going back. He was really upset with me, and it probably didn't help that I was his youngest and my sister was already out making a life for herself. Don't get me wrong, I love my dad. I keep contact because when my stepmother is out of the picture, he's a fantastic father. But I'm 21 now and I'm doing really well with my life, and me and my BF are 3 years strong and even in a new state. Dad really didn't like that, but I didn't leave out of spite, I just genuinely hated where I was. He is still really disappointed that I moved out, but that's what he told me to do /__/. Sadly, my dad is still married to her and my sister had to drop her as a babysitter due to poor supervision, leading to my 1-year-old niece in the ER getting stitches and my dog getting put down because the dog was skittish due to my stepmother straight up hitting her, which led to my dog biting my unsupervised niece. Though, my sister tells me that he's slowly getting fed up with my stepmother's BS and entitlement. So who knows? Maybe he'll divorce her and we can fully repair our relationship without giving him the ultimatum of see your future grandkids without her or not see them at all. I'm not pregnant but plan on having kids eventually. Edit. Added more detail about the dog/niece issue and fixing wording due to great points in the. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.